you getting ready to file your BOI report and you're wondering, how do you do this? Maybe you've been putting it off for the whole year because you think it's overwhelming. It's actually easier than you think. If we've never met before, hi, I'm Candus Kampfer, and I love to help business owners and bookkeepers create confidence with QuickBooks. Today, though, we're talking about how to fill out this form. I promise it's actually not as hard as it looks. There are some things to know, so I'm going to give you some little nuances, some tips and tricks as we go through this, okay? So FinCEN is the one that you're going to be filing the report with. It is called the BOI, and what they want on this report is your beneficial ownership information, all right? So you want to make sure you go to the right website. I did see some people saying, hey, if you just Google it, you could get a company who's trying to do it for you, and you actually want to file this yourself because it doesn't cost anything, and it's super easy. It is not hard to do, so once you file it once, you won't need to file it again. What you want to do is go in. You can choose you can Google, but you want to make sure that you go to the FinCEN website. All right, I will put the link down below too, so you make sure you get the right link. And you want to come in here and you're going to click on Get Started. Now, before you get started, there's a few things you want to gather, and I will link this below as well. This is from them that has like the instructions of what you exactly need for your filing of your BOI report. You're going to want to get together your beneficial ownership information. So who owns the business that you're working with, the entity structure. If it's more than one person, you're going to want to gather all of it. If you only have one owner, it makes it super simple. You're going to need their name, their legal name, first and last name, their birth date, their address, like their physical residential address, as well as an identification number. Now you can either use their driver's license, you can use their passport, but you're going to need a copy of it. So you're going to want to gather that. You can watch this whole video and then come back, but you're going to want to gather that to actually fill out the form. There is an FAQ that I'm going to link as well because it goes through a lot of different questions. If you have questions, you may want to reach out to your tax professional or an attorney if you have like specific things about your business. But there are 23 types of entities that are exempt. So you might want to read through that, check out and see if you qualify for that. You're still going to fill out the form. You're just going to mark it as exempt. Okay. I will link the entire FAQ. So it's up at the top. You'll notice there's just a lot of information there. If you click on these different links for different questions you might have, it will take you to that section of the article. So let's go ahead and file your BOI report. You're going to click Get Started here. And you have a couple different options. You can either download a PDF and fill it all out and submit that. I personally prefer to just file it online and just to click here. So prepare and submit, and then click agree. Went ahead and I filled this out as an example for my own business. It's super easy to do. I'm telling you, it just takes a few minutes. If somebody walks you through it and you got all the information, it's just like click, 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 really quickly. The first thing to know is some of the date ranges and the things about the deadlines that I want to share with you. One is that there is a daily fee if you do not get this submitted on time. If you created an entity structure before January 2024, you had the entire year to get it submitted, and you just need to make sure it's filed by January 1st, 2025. If you got to this point, make sure you get it done because you just want it done at this point. If you created a new entity structure in 2024, you had a 90-day window to get this report filed. If you create a new entity structure after January 1st, 2025, you get a 30-day window to get this report filed, okay? So the first step is you're gonna do your filing information. So you're either creating an initial report, you're either correcting it, updating it, or doing a newly exempt entity. The first time you file it, it's gonna be the A. Now, as long as nothing changes with your ownership, you will not need to file this again, okay? It's not like something you have to do every single year. You're just gonna do it after you do it the first time, if any changes happen. It will autofill, so you're gonna choose what type of filing, then it's gonna autofill your date that you're on today. You're gonna click next. And then one thing to know, as we start going through this, you'll notice there's different sections on the top. We're gonna go through each of these sections. If there's not an asterisk near the question where there's like a box, you can skip those. You wanna make sure, like down here on this 5, there's an asterisk. Those are the ones you definitely have to enter to be able to submit the form at the end. If for any reason you missed something you really had to fill out, the system will tell you at the very end when you go to agree, did you miss any pieces? And then you'll go back to that section to fix it, okay? So you can skip when you get to the part 1, the reporting company information. You can skip 3 and 4 if you don't want to do that. If at any point you have a question on what does that mean, you can hit the little question mark and it will tell you more about each of these sections. So when we get to our legal name and alternative names, you're going to want to go ahead and put in your legal entity structure name. If you have any DBAs, you want to put that in there. If you have additional ones, you'll click the add. We're going to scroll down. We're going to go under form of identification. So depending on your entity structure, you're either going to have an EIN, a social security, individual tax identification number, or foreign. Pick the one that's appropriate for you. Then you're going to put in on number 8, you're going to put in the tax identification number. A little tip is when you go to put an EIN or social security, if you're used to having the little dashes, you don't need any dashes. You just put the numbers themselves in. 9 can be skipped if you want to. Then you're going to go into what jurisdiction of formation or registration for your entity structure. So if you are in the United States, you pick that. If you're somewhere else, you're going to pick that. Then if you're in the United States, you're going to pick a state. Which state did you form? So when you went to the Secretary of State and you actually submitted for your entity, that form, that's the state that you're going to file here. Okay. So if you have multiple entities, they're in different states, you're going to want to file them based off of exactly what you have as a scenario for each of your businesses. Okay. Then you're going to move on. Now I will notice that this is an asterisk, but if you don't fill this out when you get to the end, it has you come back in my experience. So if you're here, just go ahead and fill out the B. If it doesn't show it, get to the end and then come back. Either way, you're going to put in your physical address, the city, the US or US territory that it's in, the state, and the zip code. Then you're going to click next. If your entity was formed before, so if it says check number 16, check if existing reporting company as of, so in other words, if you already had an entity, a business created before January 1st of 2024, you're going to check mark this box. And then you're going to skip a bunch of information. If the answer is you started a business in 2024, you're just not going to check that box. Super simple, right? Then you're going to see there's all these boxes, but they're left blank. If you already had an entity, you're just going to skip all of them. It won't even let you click in there. If you're like, why won't it let me click? You didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to do this section. Then you're going to click next. You're going to come here. Now we're on part 3. We're in the tab, this 4th tab, part 3, the beneficial owner information. So if you have more than one owner, you're going to want to add additional owners up here on this blue box on the top. If you only have one owner, you're only going to need to enter one information. If you happen to have, you're a parent instead of a minor that you're filing for, you'll check box this. If not, you just skip it. If you want a FinCEN ID number, you can say, or if you already have one, you can put that in there, okay? If you're exempt, you're going to check mark this box. If you're not exempt, skip it. Then you're going to put in the legal name and date for the owner of the business. Their last name, their first name. You can skip the middle if you want. You can put it in, but you do need to put in their birthday. You're going to put in their residential address of that owner. If you have more than one, remember, you're going to add additional owners. With that to be said, you're going to go in and enter the information. You're going to then decide, based off that owner that you're entering it for, what is the identification document that you want to submit to prove who they are. Is it a state driver's license, a state or local tribe issued ID, a US passport, or a foreign passport? After you've selected that, you're going to put in the identification number that goes with that particular type. And then you're going to go through and you're going to need to, even though it's not asterisked, it will have you come back. You need to put in if it's issued in the United States or somewhere else. And then if it is the United States, which state is it for? Okay. Then you're going to come in here and you're going to upload. So you're going to take a screenshot, either a JPEG, a PNG, or a PDF of the driver's license, passport, whatever you're using, and you're going to upload it. Now, it will not take special characters. So originally I put like an apostrophe in there. It does not like that. You need it to not have any special characters like exclamation points, any of that, or numbers. It will not like that. Just make it super simple. I think you can maybe put numbers in. You'll notice when you hover over this, if you get an error, you just got to make a little change. Then you're going to click next. And that's as easy as it is. So now you are in the last section. You're going to make sure you have your email address in there, the same email address in both times, so it can confirm it, your name of who's authorized to submit this form, first and last, and you're going to click I agree. When you click I agree, if there's any errors or issues, it will tell you where to go to fix it. And then you're going to come down here. You're going to say, I'm a human. It's going to tell you, depends on the one that pops up for you, but you're going to, if this one asks you to confirm which one's a cat, you're going to click cat and you're going to click next. It's going to ask you to do a cat again, and then you're going to click cat and you're going to click verify. Okay. Then it's going to say submit. And then when you click submit, it is going to give you your actual submission information, as long as everything went through, is successful. You'll get a green at the top. You're going to come in here and you're going to download the transcript. Keep that for your records, and you are done. It is now filed. You can celebrate, woohoo, all over. Pretty easy, right? The key is just getting all of the information initially. If you had any ahas, you got it taken care of, you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. And if you're new here and you'd like to keep getting additional tips and tricks, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're looking for tutorials on how to use QuickBooks for your business, make sure to reach out to us at support@candacecampfer.com, or you can leave a comment down below, and we will give you additional training or resources depending on what exactly you're looking for. Again, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope this was super easy. I will see you inside our next tip and trick. Toodaloo, bye.